Welcome to the Round 6 Podcast. I'm Brian.
I'm Brad.
I'm Alex.
I'm Jason.
I'm Mike.
And there we are, man, live from the, 71st? 71st? Grand National Roadster Show.
2020.
Pomona, California. Yes, it's January in California. And you're wearing shorts and a t-shirt?
Yes,
You're
because
wearing a t-shirt?
I'm from the Northwest,
Yeah.
so I haven't had my vitamin D in a while, so I've got to get as much as I can.
And we got friends stopping by as we record. This is awesome. This is good stuff. Hey, man. How's it going, man? Dude, call me, please.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man.
Call me.
It's so friendly. This is the greatest place on earth.
That's right, yeah.
This is really, so here we are. We got, you guys, if you've listened to the podcast, you know Brad, you know Alex. You've heard Jason before. Episode 70.
72 or 3.
You're in the 70s somewhere.
Yeah. Literally.
I don't mean that
figuratively.
IQ-wise. That'd be horrible. It's in the 70s. I'll be talking using a lot of small words, short sentences. And Mike Keller from Big Creek.
Ellis, Kansas. Big Creek Restoration,
Right on.
yeah.
Dude, you're proud of the whole Kansas thing, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
I love the Midwest.
I don't blame you. I have a great Midwest joke that I'm not going to use because you're like in the perfect position to either smash me over the head with a
Oh
beer
no, I
bottle
can
or-
take a good joke, but
I
if
won't.
if it's like Dorothy or Toto, it's not original material.
I wasn't going to go there.
Tornadoes and
He's gonna talk about your
dogs.
cousins.
I was going to say, you know why they call it the Heartland, right? Because the brain ain't there.
Ouch.
Nice. That's
And
nice.
there goes 1/3 of our viewers.
He meant two of them.
yeah.
Crap, we're down to one. Hi, Dad. Just being...
No, my mom will watch this if she finds out I'm on it.
Oh, this is going to be great. I apologize. I mean, the
My
other
mom
part
won't.
of Kansas is that part. So anyway, we were sitting around. We were just talking over in what'd you call it? The ARP Lounge.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Man,
the ARP Lounge.
They've got
Thank
one
you,
cool
ARP.
setup this year. Thank you. Yeah.
Best fasteners
outstanding.
and cocktails.
Enough. I cannot say enough good about what Mr. Bob Florine
made quite the deal here.
did for this show this year.
Got a monster award going in the booth this
Wow.
in this building this year.
Yeah.
The Slonaker Award. So he put the setup for the lounge for all the competitors. That's what this was for.
Yeah, it's first class.
So, and of course, who are we to not abuse that privilege to be allowed in?
Well, of course.
It's
Yeah,
right
we-
there. Right there, literally.
That's
How can you not?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we stood there for about an hour, and I didn't know it was there, and then
Yeah, you even bought a beer.
I did. I was just over there and bought a beer, and then Jason's like, "Hey, come here," and he opens up the curtain, and
ARP has free beers.
I was like, "What?
Thank you, ARP.
Thank you."
Thank you.
First class.
But really,
Yes.
beyond that too, and we'll get into the other things
Yes.
that
Yeah.
they had to deal with.
That's right.
Last
Snacks.
week. But we're sitting here, and one of the topics we got into discussing, we're going back a little ways again, the Saudi Arabia trip. You
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
we had Jason talk about it a little bit
Yeah.
on our podcast. Okay, this is the coolest part ever. You did something I love to do. You immersed yourself right into the culture.
Yeah, I
He
did.
really did.
100%,
I did.
man.
I went to college for a history major, so I just love history. I was surfing the internet one Sunday morning, and I follow Boris at Street Machinery. Everybody
Yeah, I
kind of
do.
knows the Sunday Swaporama, and he put a post up that he was going looking for some cars, and I'm like, "What's that?" So I called him. He's like, "Oh, dude, you got to get in on this." So I did.
Yeah.
And from the Midwest, some of my guys had legit reasons for not going. One guy's scared to fly. He is. He won't fly. And one guy has elderly parents. But I couldn't really find anybody from my shop to go, so I called Jason. We've been working together since about 2009.
Yeah.
Done 10
Last year's our
projects
10-year
together.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you.
we
Thank
celebrated in Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
It's traditional.
Sure.
Yeah, the traditional 10-year anniversary.
They really
gift.
smile on that over there. So
This is where Alex should pipe in and go, "You lied to me, Brian. I took him to Toronto."
Yeah.
It's,
Hey,
but
Toronto Moosehead is their traditional gift.
little bats.
I bought him shawarma.
Yeah.
Oh, nicely
Yeah.
done.
Wow.
Took an
Actual
hour.
shawarma.
It did take an hour at the I guess it was a food truck.
Yeah, there was a food truck festival at the car show.
So it's like Universal then.
Oh,
It
yeah.
took an
That's
hour.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's universal. Well, I found out a lot of things are universal. You do all this research, and you tell someone, "Oh, I'm going to Saudi Arabia," and they're like, "You're what?"
Lots of luck.
Yeah, lots of luck, pal. So I call him and I said, "Hey, man, I'm thinking about going to Saudi Arabia." And true to his nature, he's like, "I'll go."
Of course.
like no hesitation, just I'll go. Okay, yeah, okay.
You didn't even think to
cool.
ask the wife. You were just like, I'm going to Saudi Arabia.
No, it was that quick.
She's totally down with
Whatever gets
Yeah.
you out of the house.
maybe,
Okay.
No, but he.
but she's supportive and just shoving you out the door and go explore. She's
One
been-
thing you got a great wife who like appreciates anything that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, and
expands
she's been way more
horizons, so-
places than I have, so she was all in. Like, yeah, go explore.
Dude, see,
But-
so you figured out the secret. There's no asking forgiveness or permission. It's just literally you get the person who appreciates that.
Right.
Well done, sir.
That's pretty cool.
There you
actually.
go, viewers. You have the secret.
Go
to life.
enjoy the adventure. That's because you know it's
you
going to be
know-
an adventure.
Yeah,
That's
I looked at it that morning on the internet, and I went to church and came home, and I told my wife, I was like, "There's this weird show in Saudi Arabia. I'm thinking about going." And she's like, "Saudi Arabia?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, okay." So my wife was like, my wife's always supported me, though. You know,
That's
she.
like a magical moment. I wonder what
Yeah.
else happened in the world that day. A lot of things just got okayed.
No,
It's
she's
like,
she's
yeah,
always
whatever.
stood behind me. If I think I want to do it and it's for our, good for our family, well, she's down with it. So
Very cool.
yeah, got a great wife. Can't
awesome.
complain.
But something you said when we talked about it, I really want to get deeper into this. I mean, we'll do this as we go on. But
Okay.
the way you guys talked about it, you got around here. All you hear in our country from the media anyway is this whole we're hated everywhere else in the world. Everybody hates us.
yeah.
Everybody
Tell everyone
hates
you're
Americans.
Canadian if you
Right.
leave town.
No, no.
And the stories from you
We-
guys.
we heard
is
that.
total polar opposite.
Yeah.
Yes.
We heard so many things, and I don't know. We talk on the phone all the time because
Yeah.
we
Live 1,000 miles apart.
right, but we're.
You know how that
I'd
goes.
say we're pretty. We build. You design for me, so we're constantly on
the
the
wind
phone.
beneath your wings.
He really is. Great designer.
You're a lot of wind beneath a lot of people's
Yeah.
wings. You are. See.
Great designer. Brutally honest.
Painfully.
He's
Painfully.
yeah. You have to put your thick skin on when you call. But it's okay.
Shoot
I can
straight.
take it. Yeah, that's fine.
how it
I
should be,
appreciate
though.
it. Well, that's why I paid him.
That's why people
You know,
love or
that's
hate
right.
me.
Right. So if you can't take the truth, well, don't ask the
Especially
question.
you got the right attitude. That's the perfect attitude to have.
Yes.
Well, and
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
if
I
you're gonna
build
succeed.
cars,
Yes,
but the
absolutely.
thing about building cars is like I've been in this game for 20 years, and you watch people who are car builders and they are wannabe designers, and I just never had that. I can't draw. I can think of things and pass it to Jason, and he can take it, and both of us together are a lot stronger than me by myself. So hiring a designer that you mesh with, and really the guy understands you, he knows where you want to go, and then you have these ideas to take back to your client, and your client can see the passion that Jason puts into it, the passion that I put into it, and they're like, yeah, if you guys think that's it, let's do that. And I don't know, it's just like this synergy where we just work well together.
Yeah.
So I can't complain about that. But when I called him, he's like, yeah, I'm down with going. So it was funny. This thing went together so fast.
But the information was so
It was a little
slow.
Yeah, it was
You
a
know,
little,
they
you're like-
threw the whole event together in 5 months.
yes.
Wow.
And it was massive, guys. It was truly, I'll give a shout out to the people that put it on because, Gary Case, Peter McGilvray, Jonathan Moore, they were great to us. They really treated us like,
And you can imagine the struggle they had just putting the thing together, let alone talking all these different people from around the world into coming to Saudi Arabia for this show that doesn't even have a website yet, but trust us.
Were
Right.
you like buying your tickets and you get like website?
No,
coming soon?
No, we didn't buy our
buy
tickets.
tickets.
They paid.
They
So-
Oh, jeez.
they called me on my cell phone 2 weeks before the show started to, like, on a Saturday afternoon, I'm out riding a bike and my phone rings with this really strange long number, but I knew the trip was coming soon, so this might actually not be spam.
Kinda
I
wing it
answer, and it's this super sweet lady from Saudi Arabia calling to confirm all of my travel arrangements, asking where I live, what airport I need to leave from, what airport I need to connect to go from North America to Riyadh. And she writes it all down. She says, okay, I'll call you back today or tomorrow. And she called back as promised. A few hours later, said, okay, I have you leaving on this date from Seattle, connecting LAX to Jeddah, which is the west coast of Saudi Arabia, then another plane, Jeddah to Riyadh. We found out west coast of North America to the west coast of Saudi Arabia is about the limit of commercial jet airliners. So had we gone from Seattle to the East Coast, we could have just taken 2 planes. But you learn.
Yeah.
Dude.
They picked me up in Hays, Kansas, man, and flew me to Denver, went to Dulles, and we got on a Saudi flight. It was great. We showed up in Saudi, and I was told a lot of things over here by people that, were, I guess they were spouting what they believed to be true, and I guess I believed it I bought into a little bit of it because you don't know any better.
Yeah.
So one thing I was told, you don't want to look at any women over there. So we get off the plane, and I walk down to where we're going to give our passport, and it's just rows of women. And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to do this if I'm not supposed to look at them? And so I went through, I was like, oh, okay. And they do all this stuff to get you into the country. And then they had a shuttle there. It took me downtown. They were on the flight from the West Coast. I was on the flight from the East Coast. So I go to my hotel, and they get me checked in. I'm like, wow, it's a really nice hotel. And, it went on. They got it done. It was kind of, some of the stuff was a little bit last minute, but they were working with a lot of, there was a lot of Americans over there.
Probably at least 1,000 of us.
Yeah.
Wow.
From all 50 states. And they worked out air travel for all of us from every corner of North America to Saudi Arabia, and then put us up.
That's right.
And I was just rolling with it. And
Whatever happens. Like,
as an example, I didn't know what hotel I was staying at until we were in the Riyadh airport.
jeez.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how hard they were just scrambling to do all of the massive amount of logistics.
Yeah. It's
And
insane.
you get there and get in a line. Gave her our names. Okay, you're staying at this hotel. Okay, great. That happens to be the hotel that Mike's staying at.
So that worked out good.
It did.
We'll have breakfast together tomorrow.
Right. So we got on, we got into the hotel, everybody was checked in, and then the show their schedule works different over there than ours. So if I would tell my customers, our shop opens at 4 and we close at midnight, they would look at me like, what is,
out of your mind.
Are you kidding me? But that's kind of how it runs over there. Nothing really happens in the morning.
Yeah.
It's real laid back. So
Dude.
we were in the I guess the orphan hotel in a little bit. There was a bigger clump of hotels, and it ended up being like the greatest thing because we had this little community of Americans there, and every morning we would get up and we would go down to our breakfast, and they provided the breakfast, and we'd eat 2, 3, 4 omelets, just leisurely because we have till 4 o'clock to get there.
They had a latte machine.
I think by 5, 6, 7 lattes with an espresso shot. We're just chilling, and what's happening? Whatever.
Great big beautiful dining room.
Yeah, it was awesome.
With an amazing breakfast every morning, and 100 people from the hot rod industry that from home.
Yeah,
just hanging out. And we have no schedule because the show doesn't start till 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So just hang out,
We
and drink
just
coffee, and eat
talk
omelets
about
all
business,
morning.
talk about policies, talk about everything from labor rate to employee issues to you just networked. It was so amazing the connection we were able to make with some of these people that we would have never had that opportunity over here. And
Yeah.
we ran into Mark Bowler today, and we were talking to him. I said, "You do any business over there?" And he said, "Well, no, not really." I was like, "Yes, you did. I bought a transmission from you that I wasn't going to buy." He's like, "Well, yeah, we did. Yeah, we probably sold 4 or 5 transmissions."
He'd never met Mark Bowler till we're sitting there in the tent
right.
in Saudi Arabia. They struck up a deal, and because it was so low key and relatively little potential for business, I mean, the Saudis weren't busting down Mark's door or Mike's door for business, so we all got to network as Americans in a low key environment that wasn't a clusterfuck like SEMA.
And that's what we had talked about too.
Right.
Yeah.
That was
Right.
so like this year
Right.
was so hard to
This
get
year,
anything done.
every year since the recession, shit.
Well, we had multiple conversations about, well, what's it going to be? After we say yes, obviously it's easy to say yes, and then when you're getting closer, he kept telling me, "Well, I'll believe it when we're over the ocean."
They didn't have a website until October.
And I was just like, "Dude, it's going to happen." I talked to Peter. It's going to happen. But you're kind of in the back of your mind going, "Well, like,
really totally
yeah,
believe
right.
it." Like,
So you weren't buying it yet. You're like, that's
So yeah,
I'll go if it
Yeah, right.
happens. If not,
Right.
whatever.
What-
You're just
whatever.
reading the brochure. You're like, at some point they're gonna shoot somebody out of a cannon, and halfway over the ocean, you're like,
Is it me?
not again.
yeah. So the ability to
I went to drive the monster trucks.
Yeah. The ability
Grave
to
digger.
sit there and just like, I don't know, we had, in our hotel, we had Boris from Street Machinery. We had Jesse Greening, his dad, which they're great to hang out with. We had the guys from Eddie's. We had Paul Atkins. We had
The ghost of Brett Michaels.
Yeah, we did.
Brett Michaels, really?
The ghost of Brett Michaels.
Oh, the
We're
ghost.
not, we're,
Ghost.
we
Yeah.
can't, we can't get too, I'll show you a picture here in a minute. Off of the podcast.
Thank you.
We had a lot of fun with that. But
Meme maker.
right.
Maker.
Oh, we had
Meme maker.
Blake Shreddy, the crazy guy.
Yeah,
that
the kid
tore
that
up,
got arrested in San Diego, for
with his
doing his own
his,
BJ
VW,
Baldwin
yeah.
viral video.
Yeah, he was there. They were great,
Dude.
Yeah, we had the
That kid's hilarious.
Really?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. We had a guy that was a Buck in Deadpool. He was great, man. We just had fun. We had lots of celebrities were there, lots of
Celebrities.
coverage. Yeah, well,
So how do they work it though? I didn't mean to cut you off. Though.
No, you're good.
No.
So every day,
This is your
listen,
show.
get up, whenever.
Whenever, exactly.
Breakfast from whenever to
Yeah, really.
whenever.
Yeah.
Well, I think they shut down that buffet at about 10:30.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to. So what did
There's
you guys?
no sense of urgency.
Were you guys free to like roam?
We did.
Anything we wanted.
We absolutely
Yeah.
did. We ran all over Riyadh.
Yeah.
Uber?
After breakfast, we're all fueled
Really?
up.
So there's like Riyadh Uber.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
no
That's
lift.
got a great
No
ring to
lift,
it, though.
but Uber.
Uber. We Ubered
yeah.
everywhere.
And we would finish breakfast and just be all fueled up and ready to go with time to kill and go downstairs, catch an Uber, and go all over town.
We'd go
So,
downtown.
Do you ask these guys where to go, or do you just go?
No,
we kind of
But you have a kind of
Googled
a
it.
plan. Okay.
Google and talking to other Americans that had been exploring already. We'll go where you went yesterday.
Right.
Where'd you guys go?
Oh, yeah,
okay, I'll
you guys
check
came
that out.
back. Okay. It's on the
No,
first day.
it
especially.
was nothing like that at all.
No.
Oh no, but I'm saying though, I thought you weren't no trepidation that first day. You were just
No,
super
not
in, super
really.
safe.
Here's what you guys
made
got to
it-
understand.
it
They
was so
loved us.
safe.
So nobody made you feel
I'm saying-
nervous.
you guys
No
got-
one
no,
has
no,
made
big
us
deal.
feel
That's
nervous.
okay.
I'd rather
That's pretty cool.
walk around Saudi at midnight than downtown LA
Absolutely.
at
Yes.
7 a.m.
Yep.
So
Yep.
nobody was even like eyeballing us, from the. We just didn't get that. It was if they would find
so
out
cool.
they would obviously we look different, so they would just come up on us and be like, "Where are you from?" And we'd
Yeah, perfect strangers every single day would
it'd
ask
be like,
where we were from.
Where are you from?
so cool.
We're from
Yeah.
America. Oh, America. Where are you from in America? So they would try to figure out our geography.
Yeah.
And they would obviously figure out he was from the the Pacific Northwest.
Top
and-
left. And he's
Yeah, right.
Dead center.
Dead
from the
And it's
rainy
amazing
place.
how sometimes
Right.
they know. They're very familiar with
Oh,
very,
geography
They
in the
are.
U.S. It's
Yeah,
like,
and-
we know Washington State. We know where that is.
And
Yeah.
to be
It's
honest
pretty
with you,
amazing.
like I was kind of surprised at how little my knowledge of geography was, like where Saudi Arabia is in relationship to Europe and
Oh, yeah.
Africa.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So once we flew over there, it's like, wow, this thing's really close to those. I think and this is my theory, I think one of the reasons they start later is because, if you're running like London's a financial hub, so
Yeah.
they're a few hours behind. So there's really no
Right.
reason to fire up and run stuff until you can communicate.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was my theory.
Around the same time length. Yeah.
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 So we went downtown. We went to Deira Square,
Yeah.
and Deira Square is one thing that a lot of people call it Chop Shop Square, but it's where they have done public executions. But we actually went to the market across the street, and it was fantastic. This guy catches us right when we get out, and he's like, "Oh, Americans!" And he's just like, I would say if it happened once, it happened 10 times. That just a guy would find out we were from America. Come to my home. I cook for you. We'll have a party. We will have party. And it's like, are you? And they were trying to explain we're looking at each other like, is that And it's
Shanghai?
Right?
no, it's like a great honor for them
It
to
is.
host a person at their home. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was so cool, and they were so
Yeah.
kind, and everybody was so welcoming. They just stop and ask you where you're from everywhere we went. Perfect strangers. Just, where are you from? Are you American?
It was like
Yeah.
that all the time. That was just
Yes.
a regular thing.
Every day.
Wow.
Every day,
And
multiple times a day.
we weren't super
at the show, at the mall.
Yeah,
at-
right. We weren't super. I don't have the background. They didn't take offense to questions that you would ask them.
And
They
Mike
were
had a lot
very
of questions.
open. I do. I mean, I was curious because, like, I love history. I love, just studying something else. So you could just literally ask them anything, and they didn't take offense to. Oh, let me explain this to you. And it was great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Tell them about our friend from the mall.
Oh yeah, well, so Jason's buddy went with us, Tom, and Tom wasn't feeling good that day, so he stayed back to watch cable TV.
He couldn't hang.
Well, he doesn't have cable
Dude.
TV, so he's like in the hotel, like watching cable
this
TV
is
all the time.
great.
Yeah, we got cable TV.
Cable in.
So Jason
Is it
and I
in
are like,
English?
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, they had
We-
quite a
we-
few channels in English.
A bunch of American channels and American movies.
They speak very
unedited.
proper English too.
Oh,
when they
very,
speak.
yeah.
They
Very,
do.
very
Actually,
proper.
I watched quite a bit of Arabic TV just to see like their news and it,
Game shows?
No,
I'm kidding.
they're. I was just trying to see what they were saying,
Yeah.
just to get
Yeah.
because I was curious.
We watched Pulp Fiction.
We did.
in Arabic.
No.
No.
Oh crap! I was like, oh, he's so great.
No, but think about showing Pulp Fiction in
Yeah,
Saudi Arabia.
that's
I mean,
crazy,
honestly.
though.
English, motherfucker. Speak.
Yeah, the pawn shop scene. Oh, yeah.
What's that scene? Would you like to? No.
Yeah. Great.
The Bonnie situation.
The Bonnie situation.
we got
For
into this
underage
last-
listeners at home.
Yeah. It was full. Yeah. So
Not safe for
the
work.
TV. No, we'll move on from that.
So did
The-
you see any shops or anything like that out there? Anything?
We went to a lot of. Oh no,
related?
car
No,
shops.
so we'll get to
No.
that in a bit. Downtown, hold on,
oh, boy.
back off. Downtown, we what they do, and I wanted to get to this point. Sorry, dude. They pray 5 times a day.
Yeah.
And what happens is and I don't know what it is, but it kind of sounds like
It's the prayer
it's
call.
a prayer call.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when the
Yeah.
prayer call happens, first time it happened, you and I were in a grocery store, and
Yeah.
we're just like standing there, like I'm leisurely. They have like 20 different kinds of Kit Kats, so you
And
you
all
could,
these weird potato chip flavors
Right.
and
Yeah, like ketchup
And-
flavored. You see those?
Yeah, it's
ketchup
delicious.
flavor,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Yeah.
ketchup flavored chips.
so I'm
Yeah, it's
like
great.
going,
Oh, yeah.
these Kit Kats are awesome because I like a Kit Kat.
and we're just dawdling.
We're browsing,
It's the middle
and
of the day. There's no rush.
yeah, and all of a sudden, I didn't even hear the thing, but this guy comes over and he can't speak English, but he made it very clear that we had to get our shit and get out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, get
Okay.
your stuff and get out. So we're just like, I look at Jason, I was like, well, I think he wants us to leave.
You're no longer welcome.
Yeah, I think you're very perceptive there. Let's get our.
Don't
so we
even-
went and
don't even
paid.
speak the language to know what
Right.
he's saying.
So we go and pay, and when we walk out, it's like, woof. I mean, that thing shuddered.
They lock the place down behind us.
Right. It's over. So 5 times a day that happens. So when we were downtown in that market, and I guess if people are watching, if you ever watch the Travel Channel with like Anthony Bourdain, where he was in these little markets with all these spices. They had wood they would burn, like these incense woods, and it was super expensive.
Hardwood with oils in it. They would burn like incense.
It would bubble.
And it was expensive.
It was.
And it was like one of the local specialties. And they had,
clothes, cufflinks.
Scarves.
Yeah. Saffron, you could buy saffron, which is just weird. Just things you could never buy in the States.
I bought my wife and daughter a cashmere scarf.
Yeah.
And I actually got one of them right. That one, my wife will wear hers.
Yeah. If you buy gold over there, you buy it by the weight. You don't buy it by the design and everything else. You buy it by the weight.
All these little shops were underneath this like apartment building, and they got all the wiring, and it's like, okay, don't look at that. And
roto hammer holes for extension cords.
Oh yeah. So the prayer call goes off, and this thing goes from having just hundreds and hundreds of people bustling. I have a picture of me standing there with these 2 guys behind me. In like 3 minutes, it's boom. I mean, it is a ghost town.
Roll up the sidewalks,
and it's kind of like,
holy crap.
Every business is shut down.
It's shut down.
Everything is done. Everybody is gone.
It's closed. In the middle of the day, like immediately, just that quick. We had friends that we were talking to, and they were in a guy's shop, and this guy could speak English, and the prayer call went off, and he turns and looks at this guy, and he says, you can leave or you can stay. I have to go pray 10 minutes. And the guy's like, oh, okay, I'll stay. So he didn't really think about what that meant, but the guy just walks out and rolls down his roll-down door and locks him in his shop for 10 minutes while he went to pray. He said, I'm standing in there like, what? Yeah. But they close. It's
crazy. So
and
you learned the culture real quick.
He dove in head first.
I did, yeah. Yeah, we went across the street and we went over to the how they founded Saudi Arabia, the museum, and we went through the museum.
There's a whole museum in basically the same exact spot where
the battle was
fought in 1903 to overthrow the evil warlords to form modern Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, King Saud, or was that who it was?
Yeah.
King Saud.
And they brought the tribes together with Islam, and they were able to, form the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now, they love their kings. I've got pictures of a lowrider at the Cars and Coffee. We got to get to that.
Yeah.
This lowrider, you know how, and I love lowriders because they're so exquisite.
Oh,
this thing
amazing.
was everything that an American, green,
absolute straight out of East LA.
Exactly.
Jade green candy.
One exception.
The trunk where you have the
mural.
Yeah, your mural of the naked lady, or
the tire cover,
or the
Continental kit,
the Aztec warrior,
Aztec warrior, or Guadalupe,
the Virgin Mary,
Virgin Mary.
Aslan.
He airbrushed the 7 kings of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, it was.
It was
that's cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
wow. It was
completely
phenomenal.
legit. It was.
Yeah.
There's gold leaf, the Continental kit.
All the etching on the bumpers, the whole 9 yards.
Badass lowrider. Huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you get to the trunk like, oh no.
Mind
way.
blown. Yeah. It was what?
Yeah, this guy is all in on all of it.
That is cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
And he was Vato too, man. like as Americans, we're tripping out on this super American centric culture. Like, holy shit, that is so OG and so cool and so authentic and real. And we're just like, yeah, man, badass, killer lowrider, and him
a flat-billed turban on.
Oh no, yeah, like
him and his boy are in the front seats and just like
flannel shirt.
Mugging us like
flannel shirt, top
fuck
button
you,
button.
man.
Yeah, they knew they were cool.
With Zane Cullen for celebrity
walk
pop
by.
in,
Yeah.
Stop
making
on by.
dirty.
Wow.
Is this not how it
He
works?
won the coin toss.
It was his turn.
Should see what Brad gets for losing it.
We're gonna edit this out.
No, we're not.
But we ran all over the city. We Ubered all over. We went to the Kingdom Tower, went to the top of the tower. We
We
did
had 99 stories with a sky bridge.
Yeah. So in the base of the tower, it was a Four Seasons hotel, and
Yeah.
apparently Sylvester Stallone's a big deal because they sold his pins.
It's a big deal everywhere.
Pins are a big deal over there.
Pens?
Yeah, pins.
Pens like
There's
super
pins everywhere.
fancy.
Like really exquisite, like
So why don't we get
Mont Blanc.
together? Let's do some really killer pens.
Yeah.
Oh, done and done.
Let's
So
make
we
this happen.
in the base of the mall. There's this
Artisanal
kiosk.
pens.
Yeah, Prisma
And
Color
this
should be sponsoring
was-
us already.
Hear that? Dude, you and I, okay, let's make this happen. Dude, on one, we'll do those ones like the naked lady pens where you flip it. On one side, you flip it one way, it'll be you. On the other side, it'll be me. This will be bad.
Not
Done and
naked
done.
though. Not naked.
No, not
Okay,
me.
thank
No.
God.
Please not.
Thank
No,
God.
we wouldn't do that to somebody. It'd be a whole
suits.
different kind of.
But the mall that was in the base of that tower, one of the things we noticed, they obviously have a different criminal system over there.
Uh-oh.
And they don't have
feel
crime.
this.
They don't really have crime
Yeah.
like we do. So in the base of this tower that was this mall, and in the center of this mall was this kiosk, kind of a store, and it was these ultra high-end purses and shoes and stuff.
Yeah.
And there
Made
was
from the hands of all
there
the
were
thieves.
there were no walls. It was just like the product, like it would be like me reaching over here and taking this. No one's there.
The mall was completely
mall
empty
was
because it was
completely
Friday
empty.
afternoon, which is their prayer time. They roll up the sidewalks
Yeah.
from 11 to about 4 or 5 p.m. on Fridays. And so this mall, in the middle of the day on Friday, is a ghost town. Every store is closed, every door is locked, but like many malls around the world, there's kiosks around the hallways and stuff. And this one particular one was quite large and had shoes and handbags, and you could just walk up
It'd be
And-
as easy as like picking up this cup,
and walking away.
and it was
And
just there.
They're just sitting there.
Yeah. What you think about their malls? They're pretty first class, huh?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
there's
they're
a
into
mall.
malls, dude.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All
they're malls.
stone, marble walls.
Oh
and-
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
crazy.
And all the high-end American stores,
it's
all
first
the
class.
brands you know.
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of
So-
coffee.
Yeah.
They don't have alcohol.
No booze,
so
lots of coffee.
Coffee is king over there.
Yeah.
Just
So
try
when-
all different kinds, or were you guys like, we're going to go to the Dutch Brothers?
Yeah, we had
There's no
Caribou
Dutch
coffee.
Brothers, but there was Tim Hortons,
That's
which
where-
had a Cars and Coffee,
Yep.
and I love
You get Tim Ho's out
Cars
there,
and
that's
Coffee.
pretty good, dude.
Yeah,
That's-
there's barely any Tim Hortons in North America, but
Right.
they had one in Saudi Arabia, and there's a Cars and Coffee there, and just the concept of Cars and Coffee is so great, because everybody's parked next to everything. There's no judges. There's
Yeah.
nobody with a bullshit checklist
Yeah.
of what's wrong with your car.
Yeah.
There's no trophies. There's no award ceremonies. There's no lawn chairs. No crybaby dolls.
Show up and
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're out of there at 10 a.m. and you've seen a bunch of cool cars and talked to a bunch of cool people. And so they had their Cars and Coffee. We found out about it and showed up, and it was awesome.
It was
and it was so
fantastic.
diverse.
We get out of the Uber, walk up on it, and the first thing we see, all-wheel drive.
996 911 Turbo. It had a twin turbo LS in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. 850
850 to all four
to all
wheels.
4 wheels.
And it was thrash too.
It
I mean,
was.
It was
He bought
a
it
20-year-old
salvage
car.
title because it had an engine fire.
Yeah, and the guys in a full thobe, the
like-
traditional white robe that the Muslim men wear there,
Yeah.
and he speaks perfect English, and we roll up.
that's
And we go,
cool.
holy shit, it's got an LS. He's like, check it out, man. Look under the bumpers.
Yeah.
twin turbos, 850 horsepower to the wheels, and
he starts telling us, I just took the transmission mount and I swapped it, and it gave me 1.5 inches to pull the transmission, and it just dropped in, And
he was
a hot rodder.
cool.
yeah, he was a hot rodder right there in Riyadh, man.
And then
That's
Universal,
awesome.
man. That's
And he's just sharing with us, his car and his joy. And then we found out from other guys at the Cars and Coffee, because he wasn't even bragging about himself. We found out that he's like a local legend, and has also done a twin turbo LS Mitsubishi Evo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
crap.
the guy is just a maniac and an evil genius in the garage, and he's just this super nice, super smart, super educated in North America.
Man, just
Yeah.
another car.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and
There was a homemade supercar.
Oh man, God bless this guy. It was.
I think there's
He
a
did not
picture.
hire a
I think
designer.
there's a picture of Foose looking at it, and the expression on his face is like a cat that's about to get hit by a car. And right beside that is
Hey,
a Nissan Patrol.
I've never made a supercar with a mid-engine LS motor
With
at home with a
plywood
sheet
and
metal
plaster.
brake.
So-
It was rough, but it was DIY.
It was interesting.
To the next level.
So it was kind of segregated. They had the Mustangs, the Camaros, the
Well, yeah, but
Lambos,
those-
the Porsches.
They always part together.
Sure, so they all have their little thing, but there was a Nissan Patrol, which Nissan Patrols over there, we found out it's like the most desirable vehicle you can have.
It's the Armada here, right?
No.
The big
no, they don't.
full-size
We don't
SUV,
have
right?
them.
No, it's a medium SUV, and it's unique to the Middle East. It doesn't share any sheet metal with
Oh, okay.
anything we have
So
here.
So what it has,
It's a medium SUV available in 2 or 4 doors
Right.
with a bulletproof straight
Six-banger.
6 that will take any amount of boost you can put to it.
This dude was throwing 55 pounds through this block, okay, making 1450, and
with one giant
turbo. So he fired. I go, man,
Yeah.
you fire that up? And he's, oh yeah, it's my brother's. He gets in there and lights it up. This thing just sitting there rocking, and it's a six cylinder, 1450.
Yeah,
The webbing on the block is like an inch
inch and a half.
and
they
a half
said,
thick
between
around the
cylinders.
cylinders.
And they
yeah,
do everything
nuts.
with these cars. They go 4x-in, they go rock crawling,
Yeah.
they do drag racing. These things
And they say it's,
regularly they lay down 8-9 second quarter miles. This big, fugly, boxy SUV
Exactly.
Wow.
just laying down 8s with the original motor.
And they say there's dudes that are like throwing 2,500, 3,000 out of these things. This guy's was, I guess, mild.
Yeah.
If you want to call 1450 mild.
Yeah, that's our
Mild.
base.
I
That's
got
our
the
base
slow
tune.
car.
Yeah, I have a
Block.
video of it running, and it's like that's unholy. It's just,
That's awesome.
yeah. So we move our way around, and there was an Audi that was a real rare.
You're really just a nice R8.
Yeah, right, R8, and then there was a 71 Torino Cobra that was like perfectly restored, which
Concourse perfect.
it's absolutely
71
gorgeous.
Torino.
It, and I have a weakness for those because I have one and have had for 30 years. But we roll over and there's wagons. They like wagons and
Yeah.
Oh
they,
man.
And GMCs. They love GMCs.
not Chevys, GMCs.
Yeah.
Really?
GMC. They believe the
Better looking grill.
Yeah,
More chrome.
right. So we roll up on these two guys that have two Porsche.
2 GT3
GT3
Tourings,
and
which
a-
is the GT car to
Right.
have.
And a GT2
RS. Yeah.
Whoa.
So we start talking to these cats. This is another moment. Like I'm going deep with these guys about, this is kind of a moment where we were talking to them. Now parked right beside them, like in any good Cars and Coffee, the diversity is a 95 Suburban,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
4-wheel drive, and it's got a homemade Lambo kit on the doors.
Just the front doors.
Just the front doors, and then it has antennas and it has an exhaust that runs out the back, and the pipes turn and go up.
They go up vertical, like kind of Boco
Right.
Zuko.
Right.
Yes.
But
it's,
worse.
It's not.
It-
It's not a good look. It's a real
From no angle.
So we're sitting here talking to these two guys, and they're super nice. They want to take us, if we were going to stay till Friday.
Yeah, they were going to take us out in the desert. Yeah, we go out in the desert.
No rules.
Go 200.
Yeah, showed us their data log.
They-
200.
Right.
Yeah.
Road race.
They showed us the data logger from the GT2, and it was from like a week or two ago. They'd gone 350 kilometers, which is 217 miles an hour.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were going to take us out next Friday, but we were leaving on Wednesday.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they're standing there, these two guys, they speak perfect English. One was educated in Virginia. He was into drag racing when he was in Virginia. He had, just a diverse background. They both had, obviously they were well-to-do. And this guy with the Suburban, this is the cool part, because if, any car guy that's ever been somewhere, there's going to be another car guy that does something that you're just like, I don't want to be associated with them. Numbnuts jumps in his Suburban, fires it up, and just wraps it off the rev limiter. Because the Suburban was that way from their cars when they were standing there. So he's just sitting there, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And these two guys...
He's bouncing his Vortec 350 off the rev limiter.
These two guys are
straight
dying.
pipes.
They're dying inside. They're so embarrassed.
We're having this great conversation and getting to know these guys, and they're super cool and have these great cars, and we're talking about supercars and track days, and this toolbox gets in this Suburban and is straight. Yeah, and every car guy knows what a 270 horsepower 350
Yeah.
sounds like with straight pipes.
Yeah.
It is not good.
It's not perfect.
Yeah.
Not good. There's
the
no need
only-
for Flowmasters.
The only
when
thing
you're
I'll give
pushing
the guy is he
270
did have
horsepower.
legit train whistles on it. So
Oh no.
Which he exercised.
he did.
Outstanding.
And
Perfect.
he's bouncing this poor fucking motor off the rev limiter with straight pipes.
So these two guys are
25
blushing, and I look at him and I'm like, "No, this is great. You guys have rednecks." He's like, "Yes, rednecks."
Even Saudi
Saudi
Arabia
Arabia.
has
Rednecks. Yeah, seriously, it was great.
And true to form, the Mustang Club bounced their motors off the rev limiters, but they didn't take out any pedestrians.
Oh, good. Okay,
God
good,
bless them.
Right.
That's good.
But a lot of these cars, if they're older, they were actually hauled in there on rollbacks because they're not legal to drive on the street. So these guys went through some effort to get these cars there for us because they were super excited. Everywhere we went, they were so excited we were there, and they wanted to show what they do to us. And it was, it just felt like if you it just transcended all barriers. We were just at another.
I love the fact that you guys are talking to two other car guys.
Yeah.
And you're excited talking. You're going, "This is awesome," and then you got the squirrel over here. Like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we
Because
got those
There's
too.
always that one guy that
Yes.
shows up.
That's what was
that's
great.
Completely
It was
out of. It's like, dude, you don't
Yeah.
belong here. Go away.
Yeah.
You're in the wrong neighborhood. Go away.
exactly. It was great morning.
That was probably the highlight of the week is their cars and coffee,
Crazy.
because it was so diverse and so low key, and
As a Holden comes through there, the thing just sounds nasty. Just
Yeah.
just
just
crazy
cammed out
cars that we
LS
don't
motor.
have.
There was also a 80-ish Caprice two-door with an LS swap, slammed on 20s, and I don't know if I'm to blame or credit, but I did an article for Super Chevy 20 years ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah, probably 15 years ago. Kevin Lee, when he was running Super Chevy, asked me to do like a low-budget, everyman's sketchpad article, and I've always had a thing for those square-body two-doors.
Speed bodies are cool, man.
They're
They
super
just-
cool, and the bent glass back windows are so rad, and so everything looks better slammed.
Sure.
So I drew one up, and this was 15 years ago, so it was two-toned, black and copper, and 20s, and this Caprice was black and copper
Oh, way
on
cool.
20s.
That's awesome.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm to blame or credit, but
Chance
I
already saw
didn't
it.
make
I
the
got
smile,
a
though,
tear in
didn't
my
he?
eye. Yeah,
he
I made
did.
you
Awesome.
smile.
Yeah,
it was
he was-
awesome.
He was pretty happy.
I
I haven't seen him that
Dude,
way.
did you get pictures for yourself? I hope.
oh, of course.
Good man, dude.
That's awesome.
I took 300 pictures at that week.
Just at the Cars and Coffee.
The Cars and Coffee was super
Yeah.
cool. It was so fun, and
It was.
any Cars and Coffee is great because of the diversity and just how low key it is. And that one was true to form of any Cars and Coffee I've ever been to. Diverse, fun, low key, great people.
Beautiful.
It was really, really fun. Just a great event.
So we did the Cars and Coffee, and then we went to the. We would get to the show. We would generally try to get to the show at about 4. That's when it
Or
started,
5.
or 5, whatever. So once they had. Okay, so the night we arrived, it's important to remember these guys are trying to put this event on that's never been done. It's halfway around the world. The timeline is short. Nobody really knows what's going on, and then it comes in and it rains 4 inches the night before we got there.
Their annual
So-
rainfall in one weekend.
Yeah, they
2 days
get
before the
3
show.
inches of rain a year,
Oh.
and they had 4 inches in that one night. So what happened was a lot of the cars were still at the port, and they were being trucked to Riyadh, which is, I think, about 2-3 hours away from the port.
Yeah.
So it washed out their road system because it was so much runoff. You know, it's desert, so it's like flash flooding. So there was 150 cars,
110 cars
missing the first
2 days.
And see, that's funny because I
And-
heard about. I didn't know that was the reason. I heard
That's
there was
the
cars that didn't
reason.
Show up.
Yeah.
No, that's the reason.
Imagine how those poor people felt. You get those planned and you get no rain.
Yeah.
That's not even an issue.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you have no roads.
Yeah, everything's going together, and it's going to be a thrash, but we're going to pull it off, and then
Bam.
monsoon.
It was
A year's worth of rain in a
terrible.
weekend.
Yeah, imagine my surprise. I got off the plane thinking this was the desert, and I'm like, what is going on here? This is a lot of rain.
Yeah.
You felt right at home, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Rushforth was like, home again.
It's just
They're
rain.
like, we just got a year's worth of rain. He's like, oh, we call this Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
So we go out to the show the first
Only 4
day.
inches?
We're going to set up. And we went, they didn't have badges printed, but it was just, they let us in. We went and we got our booths kind of set up. It didn't take long, and we were able to.
Booths?
Yeah.
3.
Even better. Whoa.
Yeah. So I took the stuff that I do, Big Creek Restoration, and then Verified Fab. That's my wheel fitment tool.
Give
and
the
then-
URL.
Give that. Yeah. Where can they find that?
www.verifiedfab.com. And you can find me on YouTube. So
We gotta make that event. Is your YouTube just Verified Fab?
Verified Fabrication.
Look that up. Go there.
Yeah, Verified Fabrication.
Yeah,
Check
do
it out.
yourself a favor if you ever want to custom fit a wheel.
It's a
Save you a
pretty
ton of money.
badass tool.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
And then Badgerworks, which I do package price blazers, so like 69 to 72 blazers. So Peter McGilvray was.
Well, I thought that was like the worst gift ever. Where you just send somebody a badger and you're like,
No, I just love badgers.
yeah.
I just like badgers.
pissed when
They're
he comes out of
neat
the
little
box.
animals. So that's like my mascot is as a badger.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, so it's called Badgerworks.
Do you have a lot of badgers in Kansas?
We do, and I can remember when I was a kid. One of the reasons I like badgers so much
sidetracked
is
the
my
shit out of
dad would always just like terrify me of it. Man, don't you ever corner a badger? So my buddy and I, obviously, the first badger we come across, we try to corner the damn thing, and we found out just how mean they are, and they can run fast. And it's terrifying when you're like 8 years old and your old man told you how mean they were, and you decide, well, you know,
find out the hard
it's
way.
like, don't touch this.
Yeah.
Touch. Anyway, so we took 3 booths and we put our artwork. I had printed off a lot of the concept art that Jason had done for me, and then the car that we had built. I think I had the 40 Chevy. You'd drawn the 25 Dodge Roadster pickup, the 33 Roadster.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of the artwork that he had done for me with my restoration hot rod company, and then I had the artwork he did for me for my Badgerworks company, and then we had actually the wheel tool there with a tire. We set it up. It didn't take long. What? Hour.
If that.
Yeah. And then we just went out looking at everything else that was there and listening to rumors, and there was a lot of rumors that cars were driven, and there was a certain number of cars that were damaged, and it turned out that they could track that back to one crew in Savannah,
Georgia.
Georgia, that did an improper job of strapping these cars down. So every other car that went there pretty much made it there, but the cars that were damaged by Americans in Georgia.
I'll be darned.
So there was some of the car owners really, they got a raw deal on that. I mean, it sucks, but they had insurance. But most of the cars that weren't there would show up and they were dirty. Well, you have to understand it's a desert.
Yeah.
So there was rumors that, cars were being driven across a desert.
Like Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Right. And it,
You'd see these pictures, you could tell. It was, these things aren't hermetically sealed containers to begin with.
they're not.
Yeah,
They're not.
and
So-
there was a bunch of rain, and if
Right.
your poor car happened to be out of its container during the monsoon,
it just plastered
We
it.
deal with that all the time in Arizona.
Of course, yeah.
You get the wind kicks up first,
Right.
blows the hell out of everything, and then you get just enough rain to screw.
yeah, to
Everything
stick
up.
every bit of dust to
But
it.
the internet theorists, they come to their own conclusions. But
Well, this is kind
we
of
were
a
there.
weird thing, though. So you got that going on top of the fact that everybody thinks that they hate us.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a really
Right.
weird thing. So it worked both ways on this.
Yeah, it
You
was
see
completely
people,
wrong.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be
Hey,
that
don't
guy.
be that guy. So they clean these things with a steamer,
Yeah, they never touch the paint.
which was
Yeah,
really
really
bizarre.
slick.
At first, I'm going, what are they doing? But it looked like a really huge upholstery steamer with
I
a
think
little
that's all
more
it was.
power, and the
Yeah.
cars just. I mean, it was kind of amazing.
Melts the dirt away.
Yeah, I'd never thought of that, but
Yeah.
they're
Along with
cleaning
the
like
paint and the glass and the
$20
They
million
never touched the car,
Ferraris
they never
with a
touched the
steamer.
paint.
Right.
I need a steamer. I'm getting one. Shrink the car.
That's right.
Have a 7/8 scale Challenger to be back.
Yeah. So the
Imagine the weight it would save.
So the first day we just did setup, and we tried to go around and they were still building it. I mean, they weren't ready.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well,
I-
the rain didn't help them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You're trying to
can
weld, and it's you're standing
Put
in
a
water.
gigantic
and-
tent together and driving
Right,
rain.
right.
Not
And it
gonna
was
work.
all temporary structures. They built everything out there, so
the
it was
entire thing.
It was held
temporary.
on the corner of the GNRS, if I'm saying that correctly, Festival Center, on a parking lot on one corner. So the GNRS Festival is the largest festival in Saudi Arabia, and it brings in millions of people, and it ends with the King's Cup camel race. And we found out that a racing camel can be like one that would win the King's Cup. There's 2,000 camels in the race, but a camel that's got the breeding and the, is a thoroughbred camel can be like 40, 50 million.
I'm just getting over the fact that you probably saw more camel toe that weekend than like
So much camel toe.
Yeah, it was a
average
lot.
person
It
in
was
like
a
the
lot.
Jersey Shore. This is awesome.
And they're big into falconry.
Jersey
Oh,
Shore.
yeah.
So, so when we went to
Yeah, we
our,
got to Old Falcons.
they had a really cool kickoff
I saw
party
your
with
picture
like
with you in a falcon.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. dude.
traditional Saudi tents and traditional. It was like a huge spread. Now they segregated us from the celebrities.
Yeah, they were worried about
were
us
gonna
freaking out on
fanboy.
Chris Jacobs.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
Chip Foose.
So they kept
boy.
you segregated. Was
Yeah,
it
we,
like,
Yeah.
we went
Oh, boy.
to we went to a party in the parking lot. They went to the embassy.
Where there's booze.
Yeah. You can't say that.
I just can't post pictures.
Right. But we had a great party in the parking lot, but they did all traditional Saudi dishes, so there was roasted goat, but they also did stuff to make us feel at home. There was hot dogs.
Yeah,
There's burgers.
for the truly freaked out Americans.
really?
Yeah.
But there
I've
was
been
a
trying everything. I'd have
I
been like,
tried everything.
What is this?
Now you say you were
there
going
was
to
a
try
huge
everything,
spread.
but there was like you
Too
could
much?
not. Yeah, the amount of salads. I mean, it would like a Lutheran, a potluck. This thing would be like 50 of them combined. Where I'm from, like there was so many different things to eat.
Yeah, we
We
truly
tried.
tried to try
We tried.
everything.
So not like everybody didn't bring the same thing where you're like,
No.
Right.
I brought ambrosia.
No, they had it. They had it pretty well planned out. But we sat in tents.
That's the only thing we didn't bring.
That's what I'm naming him the next custom.
You got, if you don't do that,
Seafoam green.
it's got to be something thoroughly radical though that you would never think to name that. Call it ambrosia.
But it was cool. They took care of us. They had drinks. They had Coke. They had Sprite. They had
And local sodas, and they had bonfire pits. They really wanted to set it up traditional, so there was the tents with the carpets
and the like couch cushions on the you sit down on the
pillows.
ground.
So we
guys
sat
do
on the
like the
ground.
whole sit on the
Yeah,
floor?
right.
Oh,
There's
that's way
falcons
cool.
and camels and
Yeah, it was awesome.
little bonfires going and a traditional Bedouin band.
They were making like traditional appetizers, which looked like delicious little donut holes. And then they were making shawarma on a different kind of grill, which a shawarma is sort of like a burrito, but it's got
Yeah.
different spice. It's
So good.
great.
Delicious.
It is.
yeah.
Oh, we're going next
Yeah.
year.
Wow.
We'll do our podcast. There'll be all kinds of proud of us.
So
There'll
in
be
the
three
middle
people
of
will
it-
be like, we love your
International
podcast.
relations.
You could put a glove on and hold the falcon. And
Yep.
the falcon guy was like super proud of his falcons. It's a status symbol to
Oh,
own
it
a
is.
falcon.
It's huge over there.
So
Yeah.
he didn't really have great English, and my Arabic it's weak at best. At best. So we were trying to figure out how much a falcon costs, and then we found out that the king has falcons, and he has a jet that flies his falcon handlers and his falcons around to different falcon events, and so it's a big deal.
Dude, falconry.
It's an amazing
Yeah,
bird
it
when you
is.
watch them in action.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, those things are.
When you look in their eyes, it's the blackest.
Yeah.
Shark eyes.
There's nothing. Yeah, it's
that's right, yeah.
terrifying.
You're looking deep into an empty soul.
It is.
Yeah.
I love an apex predator.
Yep.
Any species.
Yeah.
Great white.
That's an alpha
falcon.
if there was
Yeah,
one.
mountain lion.
So the show kicks off. Kindig's across from us. Roush is across from us. Foos is down the road.
None of them have cars.
None of them have cars. No Roush pickups.
missing.
Kindig's cars aren't there.
no.
So our aisle is really, really dead. Like we're getting no traffic at all. So we just leave Tom there to read his book, and we go kick it. And he manned all three booths, and we just went looking at cars. We went out and looked at the supercars that were there. It's really hard to describe. I grabbed my video camera one day, and I put my like time-lapse, hyperlapse setting on, and literally at a brisk pace, I filmed every car in the supercar area, and it took
Just
me
the outdoors.
The outdoors, and it took me 14 minutes to walk past them all. And you're talking everything from Porsche
959,
959s,
918s,
Enzos, F40s, F50s,
McLaren
Bugattis,
P1s, 2 McLaren Sennas,
custom
10
bodied
Veyrons, a Chiron.
Aston Martin wagon that was
It was crazy.
Oh my God, it was.
I'm a geek for exotic cars, and everything was there except for maybe a 250 GTO and a McLaren F1.
it did not disappoint.
I can't think of another car that wasn't represented. There was a
was
Lamborghini Miura. There was a Porsche 917. There's
No well-preserved, like, Citation X11.
not one.
No,
We need to bring one over
Aztec,
there.
Pontiac Aztec.
they had two 1961 Daytonas.
Holy crap.
Yeah, like Ferris. They were blue, but it's like the
Still, the first Bueller
right,
car,
yeah, the
yeah.
Ferris Bueller car.
Yeah.
They were gorgeous. They were in a room that was like the VIP room, which Rushforth sort of got a knack for looking like he is someone. So I just follow him, and he just walks past all the security.
Well, the trick
And,
is, if there's anything
right.
we've learned in life, if you just act like you belong there,
Yeah.
He
nobody
did.
messes with
right.
you.
He was the celeb. I was like the handler guy following him. So his
Perfect.
pulled his way
Security, this
through.
is
I was
awesome.
"Oh,
See, you're-
So we get in there, and they have all these models that are standing by the cars, and you're talking like, the race cars that were in that room.
Yeah. This room was
Unbelievable.
full of
Bentleys.
8-figure cars.
Yeah, just eight serious 8-figure cars.
The old Bentleys with the blower through the hood.
Through the hood on
through
the
through the
front.
grill. The
Unbelievable
Bentley blower cars.
metalwork and
They did for-
craftsmanship, detail. It's crazy.
Yeah,
That's where everything ends up.
Things I've never seen in my life.
Ferrari race cars.
Yep.
The 917, which is my jam. And
No
Yep.
928s.
not a single 928. I could have cornered the
Okay,
market.
so next year we bring a Citation X11 and a 928.
Okay.
They took that one little Ferrari that they had priced at $27 million out,
Yeah,
and they
they were
drifted
drifting
the
it.
living shit out of it.
Oh my
There's a video online, and
Especially
he's
over
a
26
real
million
famous
986
drifter.
this car.
Oh yeah, the V12's just zinging, and he's just drifting it. And it's like,
and those
did that just happen?
great big balloon tires and
Yeah.
wires, and it
Yeah,
is
it's just-
just sideways at full lock.
You're
Like,
sitting
come
there.
on, this is awesome. I mean, this
Yeah,
is
you're-
cool.
you're-
You go, this is
you're
great.
never
Look
gonna
at
see
that.
this
You're
Cool.
sitting there
any other
watching that,
place.
going, "That can't happen." No, he's not. Yeah, okay, he is.
He's
Yeah.
beating up
Wow.
a $27 million car.
Right. And they would hot lap Ferraris
Italian
every night.
tune-up.
They had all the race cars there, the Ferrari race car, Ferrari experience. So the safety rules are sort of like what they would be like
Vague.
if you go to Mexico or something. Like if you hurt yourself, you shouldn't have done that. So we're
that's your fault.
standing by the barrier, and they got these little guards that would come and walk between you and the fence to keep you from touching the fence. But the fence and the barrier, you'd have a Ferrari come by you, like what, maybe buck 20,
20, yeah.
30, just woof, and you watch them just hot lap.
Nice.
And they were
There was a
jumping
little cameo.
cars, they were drifting. They did a world
Yeah.
record setting Hot Wheels loop.
Yeah, they had the Hot Wheels loop, just like when we were kids, but it was an actual Jaguar SUV on an actual steel
Way
loop.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
And the guy-
that was so cool.
That
to
was
watch.
awesome. The guy that was doing it got out there and he started telling a story about the first time he did it, much smaller scale, and he did no math. He rednecked it, and he just thought, well, I'll just hit it.
Just mat it.
Just
hit as
mat
hard
it.
as you can.
Just
Death or
when in-
glory.
When in
Yeah.
doubt, gas it out, baby.
Blackout
So he
somewhere
just
on the
bam, he
2/3
hits
mark.
this thing and he passed out. It literally knocked him out because they figured it
Jeep
up later.
pushes.
So he's on the microphone and he grabs the microphone. I was pissing blood for 2 weeks. I had internal organ damage, and now I figured out you don't hit it you hit it at 55 and you pull 12 and a half G's through the bottom of the ramp, and when I get to the top, I'm going 20 miles an hour at 0 G's, meaning my tires are slipping. I'm ready to fall.
He's hanging in the bells.
And it looked impossibly slow when he did it.
Yeah.
It just looked like that's not going to work because he went 55 and just went right around it. They try to set world records. They're big on world records. So that was a world record, shooting the guy out of the cannon.
There's a human
world
cannonball
record.
every night. There was a monster truck rally
Yeah,
every night.
it
There
was-
was a Joey Chitwood stunt show every night.
Joey Chitwood is still around. This is awesome.
It wasn't actually Joey
Who do you
Chitwood.
think was driving the $27 million car?
It was
Joey Chitwood.
They had,
great grandchild.
BMWs.
It's slightly different over there, but they had one called Police Academy. That was
Yeah.
like a stunt driving show.
Yeah, that was the Joey Chitwood BMW
But they called
show.
it Police Academy, and they had it branded as the old movie.
Yes.
And with the logos and the
It was
posters
so
from
funny.
the old movie.
From the
That's
old
the movie
movie.
they choose.
Exactly.
Yes.
But they still have Toys R Us over there. So they're doing these.
Rick and Mortar Toys R Us. This is awesome.
Right. So the king gave the prince authority to basically they want to change their culture. So they're going to have 5,000 cultural events in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's called Saudi Seasons, and it's the Saudi 2030 initiative. And he realized like their ability to run their country off of oil revenue, it's not going to work like it did for the last 50 years. So he wants to start to teach his people how to think differently. So he wants to bring in our culture in like 8 specific different areas. I can't tell you what they are right now, but we were one part of it. And that's why they're spending the money on this, so they can see how we do business and how we, our product and how it works, and just
to
expose
bring
them
people
to
from
it.
all over the world
To
into Saudi Arabia.
Arabia.
That's smart. Come there, want to do
Right.
business. Realize
Yeah.
they're eager
Right.
for it. That's really
And
cool.
there's-
Just the week we were there alone, there was the car show, which was massive, absolutely massive.
Big.
There was a Formula E race, which
Anime.
is huge, up and coming. Anime, a WWE
Toys
deal.
R Us.
What was the Toys R Us thing?
Toys R Us convention. It was a toy convention.
There was a
toy convention, no
toy
doubt.
convention? I
Wow.
didn't even
Yes.
know about that.
Right.
There was a Cirque du Soleil show.
Yep.
Dude.
Just the week we were there.
So
So they're
what-
not
that's
fooling
just-
around. They're
Oh,
not.
no, he's-
flat out.
he's
5,000
serious.
Do the math. 5,000 events
Events.
in 10 years.
Right.
Wow.
So he's put $400 billion.
You are cut out for this with the
into a fund.
logistics you just pulled off. That's your job, dude.
And they kind of realize, like, that's why they've started to loosen some of the restrictions. Like, women can drive. They don't have to wear the full hijab. And they can be out without a sponsor. So they're starting to roll back a few things to modernize the country. The people over there are so excited. Everyone we ran into would, just tell us about their new freedoms that they had and just want us to know about it. And when I signed up to do it, like, the greedy American pig I am, they're like, we're going to pay you. So I was like, all right, I'm going. And I didn't really understand. I never stopped and thought about it from their perspective of why would they do this? Like, I'm from Kansas. I have a shop, but really I'm nobody. You're people that are listening right now are going, who the hell is this guy? I'm just
Sorry,
a guy
Dad.
that's been working for 20 years in the industry, and I make a living. It's good. But they brought us over there so their people could learn from us. And it hit home one day. We had the guy with the most amazing facial hair show up at our booth.
It was perfect.
And we were trying to explain to him what we did. Now, sometimes a language barrier was a little bit of a problem. A lot of them had really great English.
Oh yeah, their English was far better than our Arabic.
You could tell this gentleman was well-to-do. His thobe was not like a Walmart-esque type of outfit.
It's
And
actually a question I was going to ask. I
He-
was going to ask if there's like a gap for those, or like you
oh,
could tell
absolutely,
us
They have
what-
yeah,
gap there.
absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So he was asking us questions, and what he thought we brought. He thought I built, like, I had my 40 Chevy feature with most of his art, and he thought that I had that car, and I went, hey Jason, can you paint me some pictures of my car?
Oh,
And
dude,
it
I
was-
guess that would be kind of a
it was a
disconnect.
really-
Holy
Yeah.
cow, you don't stop to think about
Yeah,
that.
It
like,
took us
like
half
we were
hour?
pimping portraits.
Exactly.
Portraits.
So it took us probably a half hour to explain to him that
It's
wasn't
conceptual
so
drawing for
he
the
sat
final
there, and he was
product.
obviously a very well-educated, smart, well-to-do guy. And finally, after he got it, he took like 3 steps backwards and threw his hands down, and he said, I have to come to America for this. This doesn't exist in Saudi Arabia.
This guy's this excited
So-
about
Man.
our stuff, dude.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
The
this
fascinating
really
part when
puts
we
my
dug
past
into
couple
it,
weeks in perspective.
there's shops over there that will take, and I mean like amazing shops that will take a brand new, Mercedes, and they'll bolt a body kit and wheels and brake upgrades on it. But there aren't shops over there that will take. He wanted a '69 Cadillac, and he wanted it purple with white upholstery. And he's like, so if I bring Cadillac in and get it purple and white upholstery, yes, you can do that.
All day long you can do that.
And but it was really a thing. Like, we kind of, after he left, we're just like, well, number one, we were enamored with his facial hair. We all looked at each other and went, I've never seen a beard.
I didn't hear
perfect."
half the things he
It was
said.
amazing. Yeah,
I was staring so hard
It
at
was
his mustache.
I mean, you have to see it.
It's like your mustache is sparkly.
Even Tom, you find yourself consciously, like, he's talking to you, and you're just like, wow, that's like, that's like Hollywood movie.
It looked like it was shaved with a chisel.
It did. So
Dude.
It was
yeah, it was
Maybe it
amazing.
was.
perfect. Yeah, maybe.
So he left with his entourage or whatever, and we just stood there and went, God, it's just like, that's why the prince is doing it. He wants them to understand.
yeah, expose them to all these other cultures.
And all
So,
those
you know,
subtle nuances and all that. That's really
This greedy American, I finally was like, okay, well, the prince isn't an idiot. He's really smart, because now these people have this exposure to what we do.
Yeah.
How cool is that? We're living in an era now where you always look back. Okay, like you had all these greats in history. Like Alexander the Great went out and did
Right.
probably not a good example. Pol Pot, not another
It's
bad
all the
one.
hunt.
You know what I mean?
But the prince himself, it took a considerable amount of boldness to change a culture that's that rigid.
Yeah.
So, kudos to him, because he paid to have us come over there, which was the only way we would come, really, because, it's expensive to get there. But I was seeing it from my side. I wasn't seeing it from his side until that exact moment when that happened, and it was like, wow, okay, this guy knows what he's doing.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was really a shrewd move to bring us in.
And you're witnessing that history though
Well,
firsthand.
we were part of it. It was
later
cool.
on.
Yeah,
This
this
is
part of
gonna be-
history.
Yeah.
This is going to
That's
be
the takeaway.
something that's kind of, it is.
Yeah.
And later on, you're going to look back at
It was
this
great.
and they're going to go, it was this point in history when this prince stepped up and said, we need to go
Yeah.
here. And it changed everything about their economy, the dynamic of the country. That's freaking outstanding.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I can't tell you how much fun it was and what an amazing experience it was. And everybody that just poo-pooed it when it came out in America and people started talking about going,
This is going to be lame. I was sitting
Oh,
back
you've
going,
got a rich Saudi prince? I've got a Nigerian. I'm 27. You heard all that crap.
all that.
Yeah.
See,
yeah, have fun getting your head cut off in
Yeah.
town square.
Right.
and At that point, your head's gone. What the,
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it's like-
well, they do that to murderers and rapists, which I'm
We could
kind
use
of
some.
I'm okay with that.
which might not be such a
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Oh,
it's,
yeah, bring it.
Bring
oh,
it
this is
down.
gonna be great. Somebody's gonna cut this episode apart. They're gonna be like, "Oh, he agrees with cutting people's heads off."
Yeah.
He mentioned a couple of
You know,
questionable leaders.
Kevin Ostie was over there and he
Great.
posted a video on YouTube.
He's such a cool. You could be
And
Kevin
we were,
Ostie's stunt double.
I could, yeah, okay, cool.
You gotta shave your head.
So,
Kid you
so
not.
Kevin he came back to the booth and he was really upset because he had so many negative comments about being in Saudi Arabia from Americans going, oh yeah, you just
He does his V8 TV show.
Yeah.
And he does a muscle car of the week every
Right.
week, and
Was it just negative?
it was,
he-
yeah.
he
He
had an
shut the comments off.
awesome idea to do his show that week from the Cars and Coffee, and his muscle car of the
Awesome.
week was that Concourse Perfect Torino, and he was so stoked to see this amazing, beautiful, perfect American muscle car
Halfway around the
on
world.
display halfway around the world, and was so thrilled to post it. And then all these rednecks started just shitting on it
Yeah.
about them
They
having
could have gone outside and ran their freaking Tahoes up the
Right.
red
Yeah.
line.
Right.
What?
they were completely sideways about a beautiful American muscle car not being in America.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay,
This-
that's the kind of crap that holds it back all the time.
It does
Right
a little
there.
bit, yeah.
See,
Closed-minded.
wow, look at us. We just became a really progressive.
Right.
And I hope this is. I hope that somebody's watching this and they go, okay, we're in an industry that should inspire you to think forward anyway. I mean, we have
Yeah.
to push the envelope.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of what you and I do. We sit down and we don't go, oh, well, let's just do what this guy did.
yeah.
Let's
Well,
Google this
Z28
and see.
stripes and a cow hood
Yeah.
should do it.
We got
Well,
to think ahead. And this is going outside of the box. Like, you went way outside your comfort zone. You literally agreed on this guy's phone call. That
Yeah.
says a lot
Right,
about your
right.
relationship, by
Yeah.
the way. Holy crap. But to go,
Good trust
Well,
us,
you
this
should,
is what I'm
you
gonna
should
do.
see where we're staying this weekend.
If it beats where we stayed one year in Vegas, and we'll compare this, do you have to drive past bums sleeping in front of houses
yeah,
in
so-
a residential area?
Awesome.
No, we're staying with Jacqueline. She's awesome.
In Anytown, USA.
Yep.
Nice.
Airbnb.
Well done.
That's what we did.
We've
done
got
that.
Timothy
we're
the turtle in our
50%
room.
right now. We're one in.
I'm still digging the whole talking about the guy. Guys are bringing the car up and they're mad that it's not.
Yeah, it made no
Yeah,
sense.
somehow
really.
we have
that-
some lockdown on all the American
But
muscle
see,
cars.
I love it because you see how often you see cars in backyards and you go, "God, the guy's not going to sell it because he's going to do it someday," which it's never going to happen. Because you know as well as I do, it takes so much effort. It's like you're not going to fix that in a weekend. That car's going to
And-
rot away in the backyard. So
Well-
it's like, okay, the guy over there wants it. He's going to spend that much money to fix it up.
Yeah.
The car is now brought back to life. It's
Halfway
not
around the
it's
world,
being
this
used.
This
guy
is wonderful.
appreciates our history and our culture and our cars
Exactly.
so much. He spent God knows what to have a perfect Torino.
Not only that, he loved it so much he put the damn thing on a rollback to haul it down to the Cars and Coffee so
Yeah.
we could see
And
it.
he's not going down to local pick-apart and finding stuff for this
No.
car. There's-
Yeah.
This is far bigger than
That's
far bigger than an
amazing.
eBay.
Yeah.
sale.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
It was so deserving of Kevin's muscle car of the week,
it was.
and such a perfect subject, and so cool and indicative of the car culture around the world.
And the thing of it is, like, the Saudi guys that were embarrassed about their redneck, that kind of crap's embarrassing to me. It's like,
It's embarrassing
you know,
everywhere.
That's a
it's
black mark on everything. And
It's embarrassing because here's this guy that he loved that Torino Cobra. I mean, we looked at it. I took 15 pictures of it. It was immaculate. And
It was perfect.
what difference does it make where it's located and what the nationality of the person who loves that car is?
Yeah, he's
Why
not
does
doing
that
demo
matter?
derbies with it.
He's
so-
not killing that car. That car is being
car's getting
preserved.
pampered.
Baby, that's
Yeah.
his
Right.
baby.
Yeah.
But see, to me, that's what helps our industry out. That's
Yeah.
good for our industry. This is in the big picture. This isn't bad because he had to buy parts. Where did he get the parts from? They came from here.
Absolutely.
So this isn't a bad.
if not
thing.
brand new, then at one point.
But it's still stuff
that's-
had to come from here.
And think
is where
about
it
the
starts.
far-reaching aspects of that too. That part had to get packed up somewhere and shipped. So there's resources being used to do also. Somebody's got a job because some dude, literally, some guy's working in a U-line factory, putting together that box that this part's going to go into. This is so huge. How can you be that dumb? And I'm sorry, I try to stay away from this, but if you wrote a nasty comment on that, I think go out, buy an apology card and send it to Kevin.
That's true, because
you're detrimental to our industry.
It's not great for the hobby.
That's stupid.
And the thing of it is like when you look at that little snapshot, with that piece that happened, and you look at every other car that those people brought out and how much they love those cars and how proud they were of those cars. Man, we listened to him talk about that. He was devastated. It's the first time it's ever happened that I had to shut comments off.
It really, really hurt
it did.
And that guy's the biggest cheerleader. Period for this industry. I don't think there's anybody out there who's more passionate about it.
Right.
And it's really
But I do think that for myself and Jason, we both had some preconceived notions shattered by going and actually, I didn't.
But that's great.
I'm not
talking about it.
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
So some of the
Thank
things
you
that
for
I
that, by the
thought.
way. Dude,
Thank you for having us.
Hey, I'm having fun.
But this is the whole point. I mean, I love it when the guys go out and they bitch and complain about a local car show, right? Oh, the cars suck. There were 400 cars, whatever. Over there, these guys are doing the Caprice with the LS swap, right?
Yeah. Yep.
How cool is that, dude? Okay, these guys are putting this stuff together.
Yeah,
these guys will probably kill to go to any show that has that, and they're happy to have that. And then the guy with the Suburban with the pipe. You got to have those, but it's great to know that's universal.
Yeah,
that's really
think about
cool.
those guys that you're a manically beard guy and all these guys that are car nuts and said, I'm going to take you to something in America that you're going to blow and drop them off here at the Grand National Roadster Show on a Saturday. You do it on a Saturday when you got 1,000 cars outside.
What if in 2021?
Imagine what those guys would have done. They would have gone,
literally
I'm not going back home.
thing.
This is like the coolest place ever.
Yeah. The one thing I'd say about that is they made us feel so comfortable. I would hope someone from Saudi would feel just as comfortable walking through here.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't guarantee it.
This is the sad part.
That's a sad part. But they made us, we did not one time fear anything, and they were so accommodating, and it just made me realize, man, if I see someone from another country now, I feel like I want to walk up to them like those guys did to us. Hey, where you from?
Yeah. See, I like those guys when we go to SEMA. They always you got the Middle East. Those guys that have the one booth in the corner, and they got the hoods out there, and they're hanging like the rest of the guys. They're you go by and you go, they're talking cars. I mean, they're talking hot rod stuff. So,
why isn't that universal? I mean, okay, you get on the internet, and there's going to be ball breaking about Ford versus Chevy versus Mopar, all that stuff, and it goes on, but why can't it just be that a car guy, can't you just appreciate it for what it is?
Right.
I mean, I was born and raised a Ford guy, but I own more Chevys than I do Fords, but people still identify he's a Ford guy. I've even had customers say, well, I didn't know if I wanted to bring you that because you're a Ford guy. I'm like, what are you talking about? I have 3 Blazers, a 56 Nomad. I have more Chevys that all my Chevys run. My Fords are all projects. My Shelby, my Torino, my 67 F100, they're all dead in the
broke
studio.
down.
Yeah,
that's how it works, though. And I got pegged as a Mopar guy. I love Mopars. I grew up a Chevy guy. My first project cars were all Chevys. And cars are the great equalizer, though. Yeah. You go around here, and any one of these people you could probably talk cars to. Some not so. I mean, but any show, they're going to have people who are trying to get into it and don't know it. So there's a difference, and I think we know how to spot that.
Yeah.
And it's always a big thing to try to help these guys and teach them.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
That's our job. We're
Universal.
supposed to be. Yeah. We're supposed to be these ambassadors to what we do. And I think you should always be that way. I never look down my nose at somebody's car and go, oh, your car sucks. Dude, I've had that done to me. And for good reason, mostly. I mean, I had some cars that are real pieces. But
I love these guys at car shows that are, trying to shove these kids away. And then you'll have this guy that'll have this build, have a $500,000, car, and these kids are geeking out over it. Get in. He puts them in. It's like, dude, I love that.
Wes Rydell.
It's so cool.
Big time with my kid.
It's get in.
He's like, get in the car.
Yeah.
And Daniel was like, I'm in. And it gets right. It's like today, JF and I were walking around. We're looking at a couple cars. And we're just looking at this one coupe, and the guy's like, come on in. He pulls the stanchion rope back, showing us all kinds of cool stuff. I could have sat down in that car and made motor noises if I wanted to, you know.
But see, a lot of that also, you get parents that teach kids respect. You get the kids bouncing off touches.
Yeah,
like,
that's
the guy's
true.
going to go
That's
away
true.
from my
There's
car.
a fine line.
And you
between
get the kids that walk up, and the dad's like, don't touch the car, look at the car, check the car. And the kid's like, come on, sit in the car. Well, now I'm going to bring you into my world.
You know, my shop's on Main Street, and I have these big glass windows. It's an old Ford dealership, and I have a showroom, and I have these cars in there. So I'll get these kids walking to school. I'm in a small town, middle of nowhere, but the center of everything, actually, geographically.
That's awesome. 2 weeks from everywhere.
That's right, man. I'm a Dapper Dan man. I'm a goddamn pop.
Stay on top.
Anyway, okay. So these kids will be.
Don't want no pop.
No pop. Damn it. Anyway, these kids will be walking by my windows, and not every one of them, but once in a while, you'll see that kid that, you know, I look at him and I see myself at like 7 watching, you know, stopping and watching this car drive down the street that's, you know, got Lakewood traction bars on it because it's 1977 with side pipes and Krieger SS's, and I'm going, oh man, and these kids are coming up in my window and they're looking at it. It's like, I'll walk over there, I'll be like, hey, you guys want to check this out? And they come in, you know, and you just educate them. Okay, you know, when you're around another man's car, you know, you don't touch it. You know, you look at it, you know.
Touch another man's automobile.
Don't touch another man's automobile.
His car, his food, or his woman.
Right.
And you're golden.
But the kids come in and, you know, they keep coming back, and some of them, like, I've been there for a while, so now they'll come in and they'll be working on a bicycle and they'll need something. They'll be working on a motorcycle and they'll, oh, can I do this? Yeah, let's go blast it and I'll help you do, you know. So, but it's just like passing it down to the other generation.
Those kids will remember that forever.
Getting them excited about it, because I'm still excited about it. I love what I do. And to watch these Saudi Arabians, like, one of the most humanizing things of the whole thing, right in the middle of my hyperlapse, I come upon a new Bugatti and I stop a little bit and then I turn and there's a father with his 2 sons lining them up perfectly in front of this Ferrari so he can take pictures of his kids with this car. And it's like, you could take and change their thobe out for jeans and think I'm in America, because that's, you see this, it doesn't matter. It's so universal. So why are we like,
I don't understand that. It doesn't matter who this person is or what you look like. You're into cars, and like if you take your Porsche, right? You go to the gas station. How many times do you get stopped at the gas station by somebody who wants to talk about the car?
Yeah, occasionally. Not as much as with classic cars, though.
Well, right. You get the classic cars. Like, it's weird that I get it like late model stuff. The Challenger thing is like the big, you know, everybody has to talk about it.
Yeah.
And you're always like, I love to talk, but I'm like, I gotta go and get yelled at again. And it's funny, like, you know, show up at the girlfriend's house. Why are you late? Okay, I stopped to get gas, and it's funny. She's like, say no more. And I'm like, you've witnessed it. But it's
hey, as long as the guy doesn't go, how much that thing cost?
Oh my God! Bet you your payment's high.
I like the guys that go, how much fuel does that burn? I always tell them, all that I put in it.
Everything. That's
Every gallon,
you don't waste any.
Right.
You know how to diffuse the how much that thing cost conversation? Just ask him how much his wife weighs.
I'm going to try this next time.
It's really awkward and be out of arm's reach.
This is going to be great.
Well, when you're
out of arm's reach, Brian.
When you're a car builder,
but they get it.
You have people come up to you all the time and go, "What's he got in that thing?"
None of your fucking business.
And for the longest time, I'd be like, well, yeah. And so now my pat answer is this: when someone says, "Hey, what's he got in that thing?" I said, "I don't know, but if he'd have paid me to be his accountant and build the car, it'd be double."
Hey guys, thank you for coming on. This was great.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks very much.
I enjoyed it.
Fun.
Always.
This is great.
Good. And it was good learning a little bit about the Middle East. I mean, I've had the same preconceived notions about the country.
Yeah.
You go, you know, but to hear that there's full on gearheads, you know, that's like, I got a twin turbo LS in here. Oh, okay. I don't care what you're wearing. You're cool.
Yes.
Well, let's go a step further. I just met you for the first time tonight. This is a car guy thing, and we're all on this level.
Today's your anniversary.
Wow. I'm going to sing to you guys later.
I never got you anything.
It's beautiful.
Well, you get something for him next year.
Okay,
Your first anniversary.
First year.
Yeah.
Like, what is the thing for 1 year?
It's like
Paper.
paper plates
paper.
or something. Yeah.
Business card will suffice.
Money is printed on paper.
Oh, yeah. A napkin.
Yeah, just toss me somebody else's business card. Here. Happy anniversary.
But thank you guys. I'm glad you guys are here. This is really cool. We got a chance to catch up, and it's weird that, like, in this industry, sometimes it happens that way. The only time you see somebody is like SEMA or here.
We came here specifically to look at the Alf Slonaker, just to see what's going on with it, and it's honestly, being in this building and looking at the quality of the cars that are here, it's
not to kiss somebody's rear end, but like literally last year, nothing against Building 6. We had a good time. We were down that direction,
right?
And it was kind of a different vibe in here. This year, it's really elevated. I mean, obviously the quality of cars is bonkers, but the whole setup in here, I think this is going to be really cool. This is going to be one fun one to watch.
Are you going to hazard a guess for either award?
Oh boy, we got to okay, let me do this one.
Do you not want to do that?
Do
you want to guess?
For it.
Okay, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
I'm going with the wagon down here for the Slonaker.
Solid.
That car's amazing.
It's a phenomenal build.
It's really cut up and so subtle that you wouldn't recognize it. And not that I'm going to go with a hometown boy, but Doug Jurger's. That thing is so cool. Have you seen that little?
Oh yeah.
It's a very nice car.
Very nice.
Oh, it's fucking beautiful.
Okay, you're on.
Well, I like Andy Leach's challenge, CUDA, because I'm just a CUDA guy. 71 CUDA guy, that's kind of got me. And I'm a Jurger fan for the Amber.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I'm gonna go with him on both those cars. I know that the Willys down there is kind of a favorite. There's a few little things that I kind of go, it's a cool car. Yeah, but it would be more my taste and the quality, because the quality, that's a badass car.
Yeah.
It's like I can't pick on that. I was checking everything out. That's a really nice car.
Yeah.
But I really like the CUDA and Jurger's cars. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I wish the Camaro that Lopez did hadn't debuted at SEMA.
We've got a little.
Yeah.
You worked on that car.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's right in our little family. That's you.
Yeah.
And
that car.
Sean
I did some pinstriping on that car.
That car is
beautiful.
Killer.
It's amazing. Like everything about that car, every detail on thing is so tight.
If it hadn't debuted at SEMA, I think it would be pretty much a done deal, because that car is killer.
Yeah, that car is first class all. When I watched parts of it going together when I was working on it, going, this is amazing.
Yeah, some really, really impressive stuff on there. Great Sean Smith design.
As always, his stuff is just
the engine. Did you see the engine?
That engine is
the twin cam LS
crazy.
motor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So since that's out of the running, gotta give it to the Washington State wagon. Since you went hometown, I'll go hometown.
You got to. That's
for Amber. I like Doug's car a lot. I like that little green T. Mm-hmm. It's super clean, and you never see a really well done T anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of rare.
Yeah, and there's some really, really clean elements to it. The little tiny twin Roadster windshields and the track nose, and it's got a really neat look. But that the V12 Ford.
Yep. Oh, dude, that thing's cool.
Adams.
It's super nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough call.
It is.
On both awards.
This one's tight. This is some good competition.
So over here, I mean, I love the wagon. It's traditional, and I guess I run in that area more than the Willis is phenomenal. The metalwork, the paintwork Tyler Kraus did, and it's unbelievable. But the wagon's, I guess, more my style. Andy's car is beautiful. I just like if I guess if I'm gonna pick one, I'd pick one I'd like to take home. I'd pick the wagon. Yeah. And over in the other building, I'm with Jason. I love the little T. It's so detailed and thought out, and the colors are spot on. It's a Porsche gray.
That's why
phenomenal,
I towards
and
it.
The white wheels and just the look of the car and the detail is unbelievable. And cool. Squeege's cars, it's perfect.
Oh, they're always beautiful. They're always wonderful and well displayed.
Yeah.
But I'm also gonna have to gravitate over towards the V12 34.
Yeah.
it would
Another
be
cool car.
it would be
Really well done.
It would be my pick. I mean, he built it's just a real subtle. I love the wheels. I love the interior. So yeah, I'd have to go with the 34.
Good calls.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
there we go. Throw a coin in the air, and there's your winner.
We'll touch base on this one. We'll come back to it.
Circle back.
But thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.
We closed the Grand National. My pleasure.
Right.
And
They're vacuuming over here, and they're yelling at us to get out. So
Yeah.
we did good.
Thanks
Perfect.
for joining us.
That means I talked too long.
No,
you did awesome.
No,
That was great
Yeah,
to have you on.
wait
man.
till that shuts off. I've got
It
another
was
good
Jason
story.
that talked too long. You were fine.
So we'll
It's
close
not me,
this
it's
one out.
you.
Well, thank these guys. Thank you guys
Thanks,
one more
guys.
time.
Thanks.
Thanks for being
Yeah, I
here.
enjoyed it, man.
Dude, it was a blast.
It's great to
man.
meet you guys.
Likewise.
Thank
great
you.
meeting you.
Great meeting you.
I'll just
Super.
shake your hand.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Dude, that's a pleasure, man.
Likewise.
Thanks for joining us. And, as always, at the end of another episode,
Sorry, I was making some adjustments.
I'm being talked over, waving at Scott Sullivan. Brian.
I'm I got a vacuum noise going over me, Brad.
I'm walked out, Jason.
I'm Mike.
I'm Alex.
We'll just let it ride at that. Look at this guy.